Hello everybody and welcome to the Keanu Esports stream. My name is Shadi Hanna, head coach of the Keanu Esports program. And I'm going to be solo broadcasting tonight as we take into the NACE Varsity Premier VALORANT LCQs against Kansas State University in our first round. Players are in the lobby right now and they're currently just sorting out which server they're going to play on, as Kansas is quite a ways away from Alberta. I was trying to see if there was a way to do a Wizard of Oz joke in there, but I'm not with it tonight. Maybe it'll come to me later. But in any case, we're getting ready to get started with our game here. We do have the maps confirmed for the match, so we'll go over kind of what to expect for tonight's match as we head off into our first map momentarily. We are going to be starting off on Haven. The Huskies will be defending to start. From Haven, we will go to Lotus, and then if a third map is required, we will be attacking on Ascent. So attack on Lotus, attack on Ascent, defense on Haven. Now these are three pretty comfy maps for the Huskies, so you should be looking forward to seeing some good gameplay from them, because these are some maps that they've had quite a bit of experience with over the course of the regular season. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're able to do tonight in our LCQ game. So to put this game into context, the NACE Varsity Playoffs, the way it works is that there are 7 conferences, I believe, for VALORANT, and there's a total of 16 teams required to qualify excuse me, for playoffs. So of those 16 teams that make it into playoffs, obviously you're playing up to top 2 to get to LAN. But the LCQ is basically set to determine who are those bottom 9 teams that are going to make it up into playoffs to fill out that bracket of 16. Now the Huskies finished in their season with a 5-1 record, only losing to Maryville, the undefeated team in the conference, and that was a banger of a game. If you were able to catch that match, it was absolutely phenomenal. And if not, hopefully maybe we'll be able to release the VOD at some point, because that went the whole distance, playing up against ex-professional players, ex-100 Thieves players, going all 3 maps, going into, I think it was 7 times overtime on map 3. Just a phenomenal match of VALORANT. So close to getting that auto bid into playoffs, but unfortunately because we lost, the Huskies do have to play through the bracket again. So we know we're a playoff contending team, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to prove that again tonight in our match against Kansas State University. This is more of just kind of finding what those last 9 teams are going to be, and the Huskies obviously set to make an appearance and make an impression here in the NACE Varsity Playoffs. We're going to get started with the map in just a few moments. We're just waiting for everyone to get locked in and figure out, what server we're going to be playing on. And it looks like we are deciding to go on North California, as Illinois is a gap of nearly 60 ping or higher. But we're going to let the players debate that amongst themselves. And we're going to get started with the game soon. I just wanted to give you all the quick update, so you weren't left waiting for too long. So we'll be right back with some more Huskies Esports live stream content. We'll be jumping straight into game right after the break. There we go. OBS scared me for a second with a little black screen jump scare, but we're about to get started here on Haven. Keanu Huskies starting off on defense against Kansas State University. We're taking to Haven map 1. This is one of the Huskies' comfort maps. And already seeing a nice little variation here in the compositional choices for these teams. That is going to be the Viper locked in by Peeve on the side of KSU. That's an interesting pick that we don't get to see enough of here on Haven. And it looks like they are going to be going for the Sky variant as well. So no Sova, no Breach. Is that double controller on attack? They just locked in? That's Haven. That's an interesting Haven. I'm going to be honest, I don't really know much about how this composition functions. I imagine it's going to be a lot more default heavy because you lack a lot of explosiveness onto site. You're really going to be looking to make picks and go heavy lurks. You know, Astra Viper, obviously the two of them, you know, very, very strong controllers, but both have the capacity to lurk because they both have global presence, right? So it's really going to shape up how this map is played out. I think it's a very interesting compositional variant. But I think, you know, one of the things you have to recognize when you deviate from the norm is that, yeah, it's going to be different. It's going to be tricky for your opponents to adjust. But also, unless you've practiced the heck out of it, you don't have a ton of resources to rely on when you're looking for ways on how to play this composition. And you know, some of the tools that you lack, if you try to play the Viper Astra similar to the Sova Breach, you're gonna find that, you know, you just lack that explosiveness. So I'm very interested to see how KSU attempts to pilot this composition. Already I'm very intrigued and excited by this match just based off of these agent selections alone. But I'm almost 100% confident what we're going to see from KSU. It's going to look a lot more lurk heavy, a lot more default heavy, a lot more pick potential heavy, and really just abusing the fact that this is a 3-site map and, you know, how they can take advantage of that as an attacking team. Introducing on the side of the Huskies, though, I got a little ahead of myself. I'm a League of Legends player. Okay, when I see comps, I just want to talk about comps. It's just what I do. But we're going to talk a little bit about our Keanu Huskies team. Introducing on the side of the Huskies, Savo back on the duelist role on Haven. He's playing the Jet, Bondo, the IGL, over onto Sova. Tiny playing the signature Breach. Chris M on the Astra. And Senja back over to the Sentinel role. So as I mentioned on the last stream, if you were there and present for that, you would have noticed that we have swapped Savo over to that Sentinel role for a majority of our maps, but Haven's just one of those matches where everybody feels really, really comfortable in the agents they've been practicing all summer that, you know, they'd rather just give them the ability to play that comfort. Savo going to respect this short pressure here on the duelist role, going to avoid getting dogged off the angle, and he's going to force his way back into CT as Chris is going to peek from heaven and try to get some info for his team. Already some spam coming out as KSU begins their execute out long. First pick of the round goes to Bondo, as Bondo will find a second one. He will get traded, however. And now Tiny on the retake has a flash available from CT. Chris going to do his part to take down that turret. And Senja's going to get into an awkward little 1v1 with Scoots. Chris going to try to drop, but Peeve finding 4 on the round, and KSU we'll take round number 1 here in a bit of a slow and awkward start to the game. It's definitely a strange execute. I mean, one thing to note about this double controller comp is that obviously, those retakes are going to be very, very challenging when you're playing into all of that smoke utility. And I think the Huskies, you know, giving them that much space and that much respect to start things off definitely might have caused some complications for them. But it is a pistol round, and they did identify the Huskies' weak side, and because of that, they're going to be able to get on site and set up all of those smokes and lock the Huskies down, play to their win con. Now on our first buy round here, already an early smoke coming out from Chris M. That's going to force KSU to hold this cubby angle. But the Huskies have a fantastic read on this play. They know it's very likely that the C hit is coming. And Tiny will get the first trade of the round. Senja will be able to pick up the Spectre. And the Huskies so far, they've got their opponents locked in here.
One enemy remaining.
And last alive, Scoots, but a fantastic thrifty for the Huskies on the save round. And they're going to be able to pick up some Bulldogs and Spectres and steal away that round from Kansas State. And that's the thing about this comp from Kansas State is I don't think you can afford to play like that on this map. Funneling out of C main when the only real explosivity you have is a Skyflash Jet Dash combo. All you have to do is self-smoke like Chris did, and you've completely avoided all of that utility. And there's not much left to follow. Savo already on the operator here. I think KSU was aware of this, though, just based off of their positioning. I think they know that that's a risk. But, my god. What an early op here for Savo. Round 3 after losing round number 1. And it looks like this B hit coming out from Kansas State. You almost gotta wonder, their A hit was so successful. Why are they switching things up so early? And Savo's gonna find his first of the round onto corner. Ginger, who... the entry sentinel lurking his way up B main. Senja with the Vandal in garage knows that there's multiple and doesn't want to risk giving away this gun to this weaker eco buy, so he's going to play his life a little bit. But he's actually going to get taken down by Arya. As Savo crosses with the operator to try to hold in garage. Tiny going to try to recover this Vandal. He's going to flash to get it. And now the regroup on A side.
30 seconds left.
The wall goes up to cut off B connector. Savo, or Bondo I should say, going to push out a little bit, see if he can get some info. Only a Spectre to his name. Not the greatest tool to have when you're solo defending A into 4. And as the utility starts to drop on A, he's going to make the call. The rotations are coming through for the Huskies. And they are going to be playing full retake here. But look at this positioning from KSU. Doubled up and short with Scoots out long with a classic. One player playing in hell. And Savo, the stun timing. He actually jumps into Tiny's stun.
One enemy remaining.
Thankfully for the Huskies, they will be able to get the most out of the round here. As Chris, hinting his life a little bit for that operator. Was probably a little bit unnecessary, as you could have just stuck the bomb and held the smoke, but hey, I mean, it is what it is.
I need a drop.
The Huskies now are going to be on a bit of an awkward buy, as Kansas State has a full buy for them. And it's likely to be a force here from the Huskies, or at least buying up to Deagle something to give Senja and Chris some space to play, and that will be a force coming out from Senja, as he does commit to the Vandal, and actually Chris M as well going to be getting a Vandal offered to him, so the Huskies will force to stay on the round and stay in the game. A heavy hit here, or at least an A fake it looks like from Kansas State, as already space taken out towards garage. Savo will find an open pick on to Peeve. That's the enemy Viper being taken down for the Huskies. Savo knows that those smokes came through and is just going to back off and instead let Bondo take this aggressive space up short. The Huskies trying not to play into these lurk timings and give Kansas anything. They're just going to play retake, full retake here. An interesting call for sure. You know, playing retake into all those smokes can be a little bit challenging, but they'd prefer that over the alternative of giving isolated 1v1s. Bondo here, unsure of whether there's a dogger on the corner or not. We're going to see what Scoots commits, and Scoots will commit the flash. Bondo tries to find a second into Arya, but just can't stick it. Savo going to rotate in. As Smokes and Stars come onto A site. Chris now on this flank through spawn. This is a great flank timing for him, as the bomb will get committed here by KSU on site. And now they know of Chris, but Chris will find a beautiful headshot onto corner Ginger to start things off here for the Huskies. Savo is going to wait for that stun this time. Going to clear out Heaven. The concuss comes through. Chris on the flank, and the Huskies clean it up nice and easy. 3-1 for the Huskies on the defending side. And so far, things just seem a little strange in this map as far as how both teams are playing these compositions, like you'd really expect KSU to be a little bit more lurk heavy, and you'd really expect the Huskies to be contesting space aggressively, but right now what you're seeing are pretty basic group defaults into 5-man executes from KSU, and the Huskies just passively defending space. It's almost like they're playing each other's jobs a little bit with these comps. Chris and Senja doubled up in garage here. And Chris gonna try to find his third, but the spray transfer doesn't come through. Senja just gonna bank that molly off the doorway and try to get some space for himself back. And Tiny gonna use that sentinel utility to alert him to any potential aggression coming out B main. Things come through from KSU. They want to hit B, is the call. They're worried about this Opera on C, and they want to push him into B. It makes sense, but again, with your composition, you have no way of breaking onto site. All you have is a Sky Flash, and the Sky Flash will zone the flasher off of garage and give them the space to cross into B, into C connector. The Tiny now is aware of this. And he's going to line up the concuss as Senja finds one in the smoke. Bondo has the spike available, and Savo with the op shot will take down Peeve with the stinger. Huskies with a clean defensive round. And Savo is just rolling in cash. I mean, hey, I know Fort McMurray is a working town. I know where it's, you know, you come to Fort Mac to make a buck, and that's about what you do, but Savo, I mean, he's got retirement fund money right now with how well he's playing his life. KSU leading again with this A hit. It's the only successful hit they've had all game. It was that pistol round hit. But as I mentioned before, still refusing to commit to this lurk. It is going to be a bit of an A fake, though, as you can see Arya crossing through back to C with the bomb in hand, and they are going to deposit Scoots and Peeve onto the site. And it's nice to see a little bit of a fake play coming out, but they've really not done much to contest space. They've baited out the drone here, but that tag does come through onto Scoots. And the Huskies just aren't taking the bait. Tiny's still posted up in garage. Chris M jump peeking out C. And I think he's doing it out of audio range as well. I believe the C site is long enough for him to jump peek safely. But they are pinging that site. They have been able to successfully identify 2 players on the C site. One in garage. They're pinging in all the places they think they're going to need to clear here on this hit, as they've entirely regrouped up everyone but Peeve. Peeve still lurking on this A site off that Viper wall. Oh, and the Huskies! They took the bait! Peeve successfully baiting on A site, but that Astra Wall should signify that Astra Wall is a dead giveaway. Look at Chris M and Tiny. They're already on this rotation. Savo rotating over as well. And while they will be able to plant in silence, KSU Fog finding Chris M. The other side of that wall, no audio for the Huskies. Gonna have to break their way in and clear out sight a little bit. The Savo will cross to back plat. Good shots from Scoots come down. Dog will find one for himself as well. And Savo with the operator. And KSU successfully deliver on their composition's vision here on this round. With an A fake, the timing, the Huskies, they took the bait, and that's all she wrote. Good knowledge of timings from Kansas State. I don't really know what the trigger was. I think the Viper wall going up A was a bit of an indicator for the Huskies, because they know these executes from Kansas are slow. Almost like a double mind game, you know, picking a slow comp and then using that slowness to your advantage and setting up your timings. Bondo will dart out A lobby. He's going to find a kill onto Peeve. The wall bang. Savo finds a kill out A short. Savo gets a second one on the round, and that's the bomb there. He's going to catch the jump peaks. He's not gonna shoot unnecessarily though, and they are gonna try to double swing him here. Oh, but Savo shooting legs. Bondo will find a second one. Bondo for the third, and the Huskies lock down A lobby. Bondo finding his 10th of the round. And finally, Savo having to bite the bullet on that op purchase last round. Eating into that RRSP just a little bit, that 401k. And he's going to rush down short again. The molly comes through from Peeve. But Savo just doesn't care. And that's Spike as well. Bondo going to use that to take the space aggressively out A. KSU is aware of this play. They should be a little bit more knowledgeable. They actually think it's been a push down short off that smoke. Bondo just going to help Savo safely re-clear the short walkout. Scoot's checking for util out B. He's trying to identify where that sentinel utility is placed. Dog just chilling outside a garage waiting for a push out. And the Huskies, they're yet to push garage all game. I don't think I've ever seen them do this, actually. He might be waiting for a while, but he is going to eat a ton of util. Bondo finding the spike yet again in spawn. Savo just holding that A lobby. And Scoots was able to track out the alarm bot here. Chris peeking with his knife out. And the alarm bot will get flashed, so Scoots can cross into B.
30 seconds left.
But Bondo, he's on 3 health. He doesn't care. He finds one. Oh, Bondo. Okay, Savo with a nice little head tap to recover. And I believe the Huskies will just call to stick this. As Thalag really has no choice. He has to just save. There's nothing he can do in the 1v4. He's going to get stunned completely off the angle. And I imagine the Huskies are going to try to trace him down. Playing to see for the walkout. Tiny said, no way. They're going to check for him out main, and he gets spotted, but they can't get the kill. And so far, for a T-sided map, the Huskies are doing God's work here on defense. KSU, the most success they've had in this game was on Pistol, where they were able to successfully identify the weak site and lock it down in that post plant. And then on that, I think it was round 5 buy round, where they baited, they played their timings, they used their lurks to their advantage, and they used it to create space. Their executes have not looked good. Their post plants have looked far better, and I just think they're not identifying their win condition here. They've picked a comp designed around a particular win condition and are refusing to play that win con. And they're getting punished for it heavily. They are going to be able to break onto this A site here, but I believe... No ultimate available for Tiny. But that is going to be the Sova ult trading into the Killjoy ultimate. And that's what you get for picking KJ with no Sova. Last player has to be long. They've identified, they've called it out. And there are no options here. As Bondo absolutely rucking through that round. And I think they are going to give him the stick on the bomb as well. Really, really nice work from the Huskies, knowing that they would force the lockdown trade as soon as their lockdown went out, and Bondo having his available to respond to that opposing KJ pressure. Fantastic calls from them. And now Savo starting to put some money into the college, into the children's college fund again. Actually, Bondo's got a bit of a savings account built up too. He's got some investments going. 14-3. What's that KPR? Is that a 4.3 KPR? That's crazy. Sorry, KDR. Kill death ratio. 4.3 KDR for Bondo.
Right there.
And still KSU. Just going for these awkward lurks. They are going to start dumping some utility towards the C side. Chris M. The dog comes out, but Peeve will get the spam through the boxes, and Chris bites off more than he can chew. And the Huskies will concede garage control. Savo going to reposition himself as the execute comes through onto C. Senja will find one. Spam comes through onto C. They know that there's multiple numbers remaining, but Sat Bondo looks a little fishy to him. He's going to start this rotation over into A side. He knows there's no way they're just going to commit to that execute, and he's already planted up on A.
30 seconds left.
But KSU might call to NB. No, it is the A call. Bondo has the perfect read here. And Savo and Senja are going to start slowly re-clearing space. Oh, and that audio called out.
10 seconds left.
Oh, Senja gets taken out by Peeve. And they're going to be worried about that B player. And Peeve might have just done enough to win the round there. Off that pressure he created from that lurk kill. The Huskies have plenty of money to work with, and Bondo,
Last player standing.
he's just going to run and gun. He's going to try his darndest, but that Molly post plant from Peeve, and Peeve, what do we call him? Most MVPR, most valuable player on the round. It was a great work from him, and finally using that lurks to his advantage. I almost want them to be listening to the stream and like adapting, because right now, like, it's so frustrating watching this default lurk heavy comp try to commit to these 5-man executes that have just, they're getting just run down every time they go for it. And the Huskies, I think, need to learn how to adapt to that lurk to give respect to that spatial control. As Bondo will take this Viper wall and use it for evil. He's going to run straight into short with that operator. Chris already lurked up right into Cubby. And while KSU's not giving him a ton of audio to work off of, should be ready for the swing, as I believe this is his first round pushing out Cubby. He's just going to lock KSU down. Just waiting to see if they go for that orb tap. However, both players on the C side already have ultimates available. That wall goes up A, the dog comes out C, and the Huskies not taking the bait quite yet. Savo will hold this short push. And now KSU have to decide how they want to play this. Savo will dodge the molly. He's going to get forced off the angle.
30 seconds left.
And rotate his way into hell here. And Bondo just going to put some pressure on these short players. Bondo will find one. Bondo finds two!
Spike down A. One enemy remaining.
And Savo getting beat out. But they should be able to recover that operator for him. And the Huskies, I mean,
Last round before the
they just look so good right now.
Placing alarm bot. Placing sentry. Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade.
Just watching Senja do sentinel things as I sip my water. Oh, Bondo! Bondo finds one. Misses the tag onto the last, but he had the read. He had all 5 of them lined up in his crosshair. I was waiting for the 5-man Silva kill. The Huskies have decided this threat of this KJ ult is non-existent. They can just dump that Silva ult right out A and try to get some tags. And Peeve going down is absolutely massive for the Huskies, as so far. Oh! But this cross behind the smoke from Scoots is just so good. Tiny had a great ult, but Scoots just manipulated that so well. But the crack in the wall, and Chris will find his angle in. And now Chris and Senja on the 2v3 retake. No utility left. No ultimates left, I should say, available for KSU. And as the wall goes down, the Huskies will force their way onto site here. They're going to systematically clear out. There's Graffiti. Now hell. There's only two places they can be. It's long or it's short. And Senja will spot them. As he's going to try to stick this through the smoke, actually. They're going to try to spam, but Senja gets it! And Chris gets one more for the round. Senja gets another. What an alpha play from the Huskies. I mean, you gotta love that. You absolutely gotta love that. Bondo with 19 on the half. That's my duelist IGL initiator controller player. Some little Huskies lore for you. I once called Bondo a baiter after a game where he had virtually no first bloods but top of the KD. And he took that personally and then went into our Maryville game on bind and dropped 14 first bloods against Eccles and JC Stanny. So, yeah, never tell your initiator controller player that they can't shoot, because they will get mad. And they will throw hands. Already the Huskies here committing to this seaside execute. They are going fast and strong. Senja already deposited here in garage, and that's going to be a regroup from Savo and Tiny. As they're going to try to contact onto Peeve. Peeve just ducking and rolling, but Tiny will find him. And now Savo and Senja have a beautiful garage crossfire set up here. Tiny still supporting. Arya will find one, and it feels like Scoots just wants to put himself into the blender here. But Senja, just better, finds his second headshot and his second kill of the round, and the Huskies will clean it up. And a big pistol round for the Huskies, as that should almost guarantee this 11th round for them. This breach comp, I mean, so classic. So strong on the executes. There's a reason why it's virtually picked every single map. Or every single time on this map. It's just so good at taking space. And look at KSU flooding out A. 4 members on this stack, and the Huskies, they're going to start to slowly creep up for information. But KSU, they've pushed out A for 3 seconds and then said, no good, we're going C and B. And off that drone, the Huskies will identify C as the weak point here. And look at this KSU setup. 3 members sitting out garage right now. Senja holding this flank. He's waiting for Thog on that rotation out A. And doesn't overextend his timings. He plays that perfectly. Knows when he's got to swing that. And Tiny will get beat out by... Was that Savo's own one-way? Savo, did you just one-way your own teammate off the angle? Oh, boy. You know what? Tiny deserves it. I understand that the last time this team took to Lotus, there was a lot of team flashing coming out from our signature Sky player. So, you know, karma's a B word and all that. Yeah, no, on their bonus now. Look at this setup from KSU. 3 members pushing up C long. This is insane. And the Huskies still fake presence towards that B and C side. They've already hit it twice. And the hit comes out A. They're just W keying, running out onto site. The smoke comes out heaven. Savo just going to dash through. They're going to clear out hell, everything. And the Huskies have a perfect read on this attack. I mean, they've walked onto the empty site 3 rounds in a row right now. Tiny playing in hell, doing breach player things.
Turret out.
As Bondo
Shot done.
dealing with a ton of aggression.
Scanning ahead. Found them.
Arya scanned. And Bondo and Arya in a bit of a awkward 1v1 as Bondo will try to get the best of him, but Quarter Ginger coming up huge on site. And I think he has the timing for it. He's going to get it. The Huskies went from a perfect execute to a very devastating post plant, and you know, watching Bondo in that duel, I don't even know what happened on the A side. Corner Ginger just went crazy. Good round for him. They're going to be able to carry over quite a few guns into round
Alarm bot out.
their 4th round here.
Placing swarm grenade.
Still advantage Huskies though. Keanu, 4 rifles to their name.
Turret out.
Getting very, very close to some ultimates here. Some important game-changing ultimates. And they're going to go fast and strong out A. They're not going to give their opponents a second. They heard that Marshall out short. They're going to have to prepare to deal with that as Savo going to smoke dash his way onto site. Catches out the Marshall on CT, and they know the site is clear. 1 spot out heaven as Scoots will reposition to join his team
Sailing over here.
on the low ground.
Planted.
Bondo going to be on anti-lurk duty as he's chilling to deal with Arya here. And he's just going to position himself inside the re-hit. Or the retake, I should say. About to come out from KSU.
Blinded.
Stun from Tiny is good. And this post-plant setup from the Huskies is just too devastating. Last alive on site. And a flawless hit from the Huskies to give them their 12th round. Tiny tagged up to 4 HP. No big deal.
Right there. BYB fam. Going to Astral to do them Astral Guardian things I do. Right there.
The Huskies are calling for a C hit here. Bondo looking like he's going to fake A with this dart. And I wonder if they're going to call Savo over just to like make that extra noise.
Scanning ahead.
Bondo with a crazy lineup into short.
Drone.
But immediately begins their execute towards B. But I think they have to see all this presence from KSU. Already shots fired, returned. Marshall in the hands of Thog. He's going to pick up the orb, and I think they can hear that.
My ult's ready.
And Thog doesn't stick the headshot. The crosshair placement is no good, and Savo will take him down. Savo going to pop the knives here. Site cleared out. Peeve spotted in CT. They're going to spam him through the smoke. Nothing sticks. And Senja will return to anti-flank duty, but KSU seems to have learned their lesson. The wall comes out from Chris, and that wall, I don't think left a gap in it. A slight improvement on Arya's attempt from the previous round. And Arya will
One enemy.
fall to his death as he jumps out of the window,
Attacker.
beating Chris a 2nd kill on the round, and the Huskies will take the victory cleanly 13-4. Great round for the Huskies. I mean, they had a beautiful map. Their defense, it was a little passive, sure. It's a little slow. They took the bait on those 5-man hits. I think a little bit more than maybe they would have liked, but at the end of the day, a 13-4 is a 13-4. There's really not much to criticize. I mean, the attacking round looked fantastic. They really, aside from that one blunder, they were able to successfully identify the weak site, execute, and set up a devastating post plan 4 out of 5 rounds. And I mean, you know, what else can you really ask for out of an attacking half? You've read the map perfectly. So a great first way to start off the match here. We are going to take to Lotus for map number 2. The Huskies will be getting on offense for the Lotus map. We're just going to give the players a few minutes to prep before we get into our second map. So while we wait for confirmation from the players for the second round, we are going to cut to a quick break. We'll be back with map number 2 in just a few minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Keano Esports stream. My name is Shadi Hanna, head coach of the Keano Esports program. And we're about to get started here on Lotus as the Huskies will take to the attacking side. Back to... Now, hang on a second. Now we're undoing the undo that we undoed. Savo's back on Duelist. Okay. Very good. Well, I'm learning with you, apparently. I'm taking a look here, and yeah, it looks like we've just decided we're gonna stick to those main roles and keep everybody on what's comfortable. And hey, you know what? I'm diving. I'm vibing with it. I'm ready to see the Huskies perform.
Alarm bot.
We're about to get started here on this offense. As Keano setting up for what looks to be like just a traditional A hit. And there's going to be a ton of pressure identified out on A side, but the Huskies, they say, we don't care, we're just better, and they're going to dump a ton of pressure onto this A side. And just chill now. The Savo going to continue putting some pressure, but Bondo with the bomb in hand is actually going to peek out C. And I think they might have the read on this. The smoke about to expire here. The spam comes through, and it looks like KSU is going to start flooding in through A. But the Huskies are going to commit to this B side execute. KSU is in position, so many in CT. The Molly sticks onto P. He's going to get spammed out by Tiny. Chris doesn't know that there's a player in there. Corner Ginger with the right click, the classic shotgun. Boom, bam, there, down he goes. Savo will mash his left click before the crosshair is on the head and runs with his knife out. That was a tad interesting. Oh, but Bondo's just better. Bondo stuck to reload. Just needs the right click. Bondo will find it. Third kill for him. I'm really tired of trying to analyze and explain what's happening in these games when I see Duelist players knife out running through CT in the middle of the round to go for the fastest flank of the century. Bondo 1v3ing with a classic and B getting crunched from two sides. I don't know, man. There's very little I can say to attempt to explain what's happening here. And Bondo will just throw it a little bit of a warning one way. That's actually a really nasty lineup. I'm gonna hold on. Let me write that down. That's a dope one way. That's gonna win me so many games in silver. That's crazy. Oh, he's bouncing it off the tip of the door. Oh, well, looks like Senja's gonna have to reverse some lineups of his own, as that Molly goes straight to nowhere. Bondo will get traded, or Savo, sorry, will get traded out by Peeve, and the Huskies should have control of the seaside now.
Swarm grenade out.
And it's actually Senja committing the alarm bot in spawn, and then just pushing it anyways. Just doesn't care. Oh, Bondo tries to find the flick onto Arya. Knows he's in that wall there, and they think this last player. They thought he was mound, but Chris M with the run and gun to clean it up. And now the B hit. The Huskies, they've gone A, they've won it. They've gone C, they've won it. Now to just win on B and then mentally boom their opponents for the rest of the series. Just show them that we can win on any site, any time, any day, rain or shine. Doesn't matter the weather. It's not about what's tactically correct. It's about what's better. And I actually like this play from Senja, intentionally walking into the Sky Flash to bait presence out C main. The door opening on A, the Huskies are on all 3 sites at once. Their opponents have no idea what's happening right now. And look, you can tell by this KSU setup, they got shooters in every district. The Molly comes through from Chris, and that should isolate this A side as the Huskies are going to begin their execute. Davo creeping up through, the doorway open, the Skydog out, they're going to catch Thog on site, the rotation's coming through. Smoke up onto Heaven at the perfect timing. Savo going to take the zip wire up. Spam comes through from Scoots, but doesn't deliver. He's going to get taken down by Chris M. And Bondo, I believe, or Savo, I believe, was spotted out by that Sky Flash. But he's just better. And the flawless round as Bondo takes a 3rd. And the Huskies successfully abuse the 3-site map. See, usually a 3-site map is good because if you go to one of the extremities, the players in the other extremity has a long rotation. But the Huskies are proving that a 3-site map is good because you can just win all 3 sites and then your opponents sit in their spawn and cry because they don't know what else to do. Chris M back on the lurk.
Toxins going up. Toxin screen down.
Senja gonna start taking some space out B main.
Placing alarm bot.
He's gonna drop an alarm bot. The KSU should hear that as that stun already lined up for Scoots. He's ready. They're gonna bait out this smoke. And Chris gonna zone off. Clear out A. Tiny's ultimate's gonna chase him down. He's gonna dog behind to clear out the rest of the side. He's just gonna follow that up. And there are gonna be players identified out on stairs. The Huskies will get the bomb down. Savo gonna force his way into drop here. He's just gonna jump peek that for the homies. Bondo, here's a bunch of people running. He's got the blind. He's gonna swing it actually. Bondo, you're crazy. And they're gonna chase him down. They see him. Bondo gets his 3rd on the round, and the Huskies back-to-back flawless. And that's what attack looks like on Lotus. You guys know what they say, right? Top fragging controller, bottom fragging duelist and sentinel. It's an average Valorant game. You can't get impact kills as a duelist when your opponents are starting their defense in spawn, though. You have to give Savo some credit. It's really hard to get first bloods when your opponents just aren't on the map for the first 8 minutes of the round. Paint shells come out from Savo, but he's just gonna run in and tank the dog. Tiny now. Short flashing, doesn't flash deep enough and doesn't actually scan out anybody. Bondo gonna start running his way to C-side, but Quarter Ginger is here. And Tiny just gonna be holding those rotations. Tiny will cross into the smoke. And Scoots, we'll check this in a moment. Tiny. Actually, Scoot's gonna spam that. Tiny finds 1. Gets pinched though. Bondo will TP onto A site and plant for tree. Senja needs to be careful of this cross through secret. He's gonna get spotted out, but he's gonna tuck his way away. Re-smoke and re-push Bondo. What in the heck? The up, down, left, right. You're hot, then you're cold. You're yes, then you're no. You're everywhere all at once. Senjo gets beat by Peeve on the back end. Bono gonna unswing. He's gonna be forced to 1v3 as the swing come out. Quarter Ginger actually beating that. And I feel like the Huskies, they had their chance, but couldn't quite capitalize, and KSU will get the best of them on this round. 1-4 now in favor of the Huskies, but KSU finally on the board. Well, there's a lot of strange decisions that occurred in that round. I don't really know how else to talk about it. I mean, we're ramming through Secret, knife out into 4 members. And some unfortunate gunfights as well. KSU did a good job of reading out Tiny's positioning. I thought he almost had the mechanical outplay, but me personally, I'm not a huge fan of we won the round because we clicked better. I like seeing the mastermind games at work. Salvo's gonna double blast pack and dive onto P, but he misses his shots! And now Bondo TPing into the molly. Can't find it. Senja will take 1. But now the Huskies, they're in an awkward position here, down by 1, and they don't really want to commit to this. They might have to commit the Viper's ult here. As Chris M will take down the turret out B main and create some pressure. Senja just chilling on A site or C site. Chilling in water. Tiny holding the waterfall walkout. They do have the Viper's ult, so definitely winnable for the Huskies. And I think it's going to be Chris committing that ultimate. The spam comes out onto Senja though, and he's not able to stick the plant.
30 seconds left.
KSU.
Last player standing.
I mean, they made light work of that. I'm not sure what happened. The Huskies looked unstoppable towards the beginning of that round, and then something clicked for KSU, and they've activated. They're here. They're ready. And I have to say, I mean, Arya, Omen player, uses Neptune Vandal. This guy's a man of culture. This is my spirit animal, Arya.
Toxins going up.
Look at this aggressive A pressure here. From KSU is Dog actually dodging the dog somehow. And they've cemented control of this A site. The Huskies are going to have to concede this, but Senja, they're able to create some pressure out B. They're going to grab this orb here, and the Huskies, they're thinking about a B hit. It might just be the move to go C. This Tiny is going to fake some pressure C, and oh, but look at this timing! Bondo will find 1. Smoke goes out CT, the second smoke goes out Secret. The spam comes out from Scoots, though. And already in heaven here, Senja gets stunned up by Scoots, but has the timing to tuck into Cubby, and actually it's going to be 2 in heaven here. Are all 3 Huskies? Bondo going to catch the tip of that gun barrel.
Last player standing.
And Senja, shot's not good, doesn't pull down his crosshair in time, and KSU is just stealing rounds away from the Huskies. They're getting the plants down, they're setting up their post plants, and they're making good reads on their opponent's movements, but they're just not hitting their shots. Feels like those memes where it's like person like answers the quiz question correctly, and then it responds back saying that the answer is incorrect. But that's kind of what I feel like the Huskies attack side is looking like right now. It's like they're answering the questions correctly, and they're just getting the wrong answer. Like they're getting negative responses. Ultimate coming out from Arya. He's going to reposition over to the C side to offer some support. And I believe the Huskies know that resolved. I don't want to say for certain. Thog posted up on rubble on an off angle here. But I think they just heard him floating because I sure did. That's going to get blinded out as Savo going to start pushing. The dog runs through Thog. The dog through Thog. The Huskies are going to start baiting some pressure over A side. They're going to fake this execute, but the bomb is going back to C. Chris M deposited. He's going to open the door. Look at this. KSU, they bit the bait. Completely unaware of this.
30 seconds left.
And now that the Seekers get committed, too late, too little, too late, as the bomb is already planted on the C side and the Huskies man advantage. Scoot's going to try to reposition, but they know they need to kill him. He's got his ultimate, and they're going to make the read on that rotation. Door opened by Peeve. And Chris will find his shots.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Better late than never, as Chris will line up the headshot for the round kill. Made it look a little scary, but nice to know we're still back to form, and that's going to be a timeout from Corner Ginger. So far, Keanu really looking good on this attack. Every round that they've dropped on this attack, I can confidently say, has been their fault. Like, it wasn't a significant defensive outplay or anything. It was, they had the post plant set up and they choked it. They either missed the shot they shouldn't have missed or overextended their positioning just a silly little way. And that's a good position to be in, right? When you're losing because of mistakes that you're making and not, you know, just getting outplayed or outread. Because it means that it's actionable and it's easily resolved. And we're starting to see a little bit of that. Like in this round, I think the way they played that round, the pacing, the utility usage was brilliant. Right? You bait out that rubble aggression that your opponents hit you with last round. You clear it off, you make a ton of noise, you make a ton of pressure. You fake all of this attention, you pull all of those rotations. And then you set up a devastating post plan on the open site. I mean, it's exactly what you're looking for from the Huskies. That's what's gotten them to this point in the map so far, holding a 5-3 lead in this attacking half. You know they're praying for another 4 rounds, and we'll see if they can get it here. As so far, the economy slightly favored Keanu. Well, I should say definitely favored Keanu, but as far as the guns on the round, they're going to have 5-3 rifles. So KSU can definitely still play. They've got some big ultimates available. But the Huskies are chilling right now. Thog is going to commit the blades. Chris going to poke out, see if he can find some info, and they're going to try to spam him out through the smoke. But the Huskies, are they calling to hit into the stack? You have to think KSU is going to be a little bit late to rotate after the way that last round played out. You know, you can't imagine they're going to want to be fast rotating. But actually, the Huskies, they're going to do virtually the exact same thing, except this time they're going to commit, and KSU, they're so hesitant to rotate. Look at Corner Ginger, he's still on C-side. And by the time he gets here, it's going to be too late. The Huskies already have the site. One in drop, but he doesn't get called out. Corner Ginger and Stairs with the deagle. Chris with the nice flick. And Peeve in the 1v2. Has the dog available. He's going to cross his way into tree, I think. No, he's actually just going to look for the gunfight, the raw gunfight. But look at this crossfire setup. Senja doesn't even need it. Just takes the headshot onto Peeve. Beautiful shots for him. That's his third on the round. And the Huskies take the win in a scrappy little round 9. Looking like it might be a C default again. Is Chris gonna keep doing Chris things out A side?
Toxins going up.
Secret being broken very early again by KSU.
Spike down.
Tiny will get offed off the angle. And he's gonna melee rocket Thog, who's tucked in the corner with an operator. Savo actually gonna pick that up for himself.
Bomb buddy out.
You should run.
As Chris has a fantastic timing here. Onto corner Ginger. Oh, but he's gonna break the bot. Chris lining them up. Knows they're stuck. Almost got all of them. That's actually a beautiful timing from Chris. He puts himself right on the brink of the KJ ult. Basically forcing them to walk into him. Savo
Remaining.
with the op flick, and Bondo will clean it up. Chris, I mean, I think if Chris got that third kill, that might have just made him MVP of the year. That was unbelievable timing from Chris.
Figuring out how. Just that.
I'm honestly like I'm talking, but I feel like more often than not I'm just taking notes. Like I'm I'm trying to learn these Viper lyrics, these Omen lyrics, because Chris is just redefining Valorant for me with these timings. Is this gonna be the exact same thing? Like, I think the Huskies have read every single time they're on an eco, they like to push out A. Oh, Chris, buddy. It's a lot of stingers you're about to walk into. Oh my god, the firing squad. The jump scare. Yeah, there's nothing you can do but laugh in that situation. I mean, what are you gonna do? That's crazy. Oh, I'm so happy I caught that. Bondo just being a rat on the other side of the door. This is gonna open that up. Oh, Huskies need to find these kills. So Savo, I think he found a spot for himself.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, Bondo got detained actually. How did that happen? Get caught in the rotation in B? I don't know.
Last round in the half.
That's a little strange. That firing squad clip is perfect. I can't wait to throw that in a meme folder.
Poison orb emitted. Poison's off.
And a full buy round here for KSE was there, just gonna come storming into B. And then they're back to A. Like, you can tell they're so nervous on this defense. Just with the way they're moving. Run to A, run to B, run back to A. Savo satcheling into rubble.
There.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I've got your trail.
Bullets phasing through bodies. Invisible bullets. Valorant? What was that? Okay. Well, anyways. What I always love, because in my line of work,
Here.
you talk to people about sports all day. What the sporting equivalent for that shot from Savo is? Scoots finding the sporting equivalent of a dunk in Savo's face. He's gonna take him out.
Last player standing.
And Chris and Tiny will clean it up nice and easy. No, I really need to think. What is the sporting equivalent of sticking your gun in somebody's face and missing? It's gotta be like... It's gotta be like a ref calling a travel when you didn't travel. Yeah, that's gotta be it, right? Like calling a foul on you when you didn't commit the foul.
Here.
You just stick your hands up in the air, say what the hell, and then go on to the next play. That's it's pretty much about it.
Here.
Huskies on an aggressive A hit here.
Blinded.
Is they're gonna be trading flash for flash. Savo already tagged out. He's gonna get taken out by Scoots. Tiny with the wide swing into 4 and the firing squad from KSU. I mean, they just don't care about that smoke, Bondo. They just W keyed right through that. Some Paper X gameplay. Oh, Chris! Oh, Chris! I feel like Peeve is just like, it's just such an interesting player. Like, he goes from having rounds like that, where he literally just, like, 1v9 takes over, to rounds where I feel like I'm reminded that he's, like, involved in the round halfway through it. I'm not trying to sound like I'm, like, judging. Like, it's literally, he goes from, like, carrying the game to not being in it. And it's so interesting. That round was a carry, for sure. And we have to give credit to that. I mean, he just showed up, took over, abused this timing, said screw the smoke, W key onwards, my soldiers. Eve finding the first blood of the ground onto Savo's Tiny! Double dink with the ghost! Boom, bap, and by you go. And the seaside execute from KSU is good. Bondo, what the heck? The spam through the wall with the classic from long range to take down Arya. Alright, why not? Door open by Senja. That's just going to pull some attention away as he's actually going to rotate through CT. He's going to pull Thog over into Chris, who will recover the Bulldog in time. But Thog with the Vandal in hand will get the best of him. Huskies have the advantage here on the retake, but Bondo, they got greedy. They didn't want to commit to the fight, and they got greedy. And KSU will walk away with a second round, retaining a Phantom and a Vandal going into this next round. That is big for them. A very, very playable round. And in fact, Peeve actually, I think he's skipping out on some. No, he's full util as well. I don't know how he snuck away with all that money. Probably all those kills. But he's going to be able to buy himself up force on this round. KSU, they are not going to go down easy on this. They're foregoing their bonus, and they are diving straight into an attempted 6th round for them. Salvo, here's some footsteps. They know he's crossed over. Salvo going to try to find one.
Satchel out.
Toxins going up.
Nade onto one of the nade doesn't actually stick Arya at all. He gets out with full HP. Execute coming through onto this A side, but look at all of this Killjoy utility. And I think a big difference between the Huskies and KSU is that I don't think they rotated the KJ over to A once for KSU, but Senja already here, already active on the site. He's gonna get blinded and forced off. Walks into the concuss, but Chris is there for help.
Down A.
And Scoot's gonna try to go for this default plant, but oh, he has no idea.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, but the spam through the box is too late. And now Scoot's gonna be forced to swing into 2. Bondo will get the best of him. Man, Senja had the right read, but just did not make the execute in time. He hesitated, and that's what cost him. You know, I don't like to draw attention to little mistakes, but when you're going in off of your bonus, you're going into the next round, and your opponents, they just forced, you want to be able to carry over as much money as possible because you want to keep that pressure high. He will actually buy up to a Stinger here. He wants to stay in line with the rest of his team. And that's an unfortunate cost to pay here. As right now, the double up C from Senja and Chris M. They're going to do whatever they can to defend against this aggression from KSU. Peeve picking up that ult orb for himself. He's 2 away from Seekers. KSU, I mean, I think they're starting to feel the pressure of this game a little bit because they are just running around right now. Bondo actually crept up into boxes here. You know, it's a rat play that you see every now and again in solo queue, and it's definitely a good play, but once you do it once, you can't really get away with it ever again. He's waiting. His corner ginger and Thawg creep up. And Bondo! Finding 2. Throws the blind through. Oh, Bondo. You need bullets in your chamber, buddy, to find some shots.
30 seconds left.
And Bondo will swing out a door for a 3rd. Big round for him. Like I said, you can't really go back to that box now. The damage is done. You've already scarred your opponents for life. You know they're gonna spam that, clear that every time they walk near that B site.
My ultimate isn't ready.
Utility thrown out A, and no pressure rubble as Chris M and Senja flip sites yet again. And KSU, I mean, they're spamming, they're fighting invisible ghosts right now. They're spamming boxes that Bondo hasn't even been on.
Poison's off.
Look at this flank from Tiny and Sapo. They are totally pushed up C right now. They've got KSU trapped in a box here. The double swing, but KSU winning that. That's big for them.
I've got your trail.
Shadows traveling.
Bondo was already in link, and he's going to TP through that smoke and try to find a timing here onto KSU.
Blinding. Shadows traveling.
Dodging the stun from Scoots.
One enemy remaining.
And Bondo finds a 2nd. 3rd is on site. He's going to tuck it into the smoke. Him and Chris M. And Chris will find it for their 12th.
Match point.
Top frag and Omen. That's my IGL right there. That's my GOAT. I love that butterfly knife that Chris has. I think that's the champion's butterfly knife. That's so beautiful.
Here.
Well, the spam from the wall from Peeve, I mean, fair enough, buddy.
Here.
You see what I'm talking about? They're pinging the box. Like, they're not even hitting B. They're pinging it because they're so scared. Oh, it's so good. So good. The post-traumatic stress disorder caused by Valorant. Somebody, can I commission a study on this? The PTSD caused by playing off angles in Valorant. Execute coming through onto C's side as the breach ult gets committed. Chris M running through the blunder, and he's going to take his gun out and get the best of Scoot. Samo finds 2. He's going to try to find his 3rd. The 3rd headshot pushing out A main, and the Huskies will progress through the LCQs into the next round of NACE playoffs. I'm serious, by the way. I'm definitely commissioning a study on PTSD caused by getting headshot from an off angle in Valorant, and how you will always clear that angle for the rest of your Valorant career after getting beat out once on that angle. Now the Huskies here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. positions from LCQs, and I believe, if I'm understanding correctly, the Huskies' victory here tonight does mean that they will progress into the top 16 for NACE Varsity playoffs. No information on that yet, as the seeding committee will have to reseed for playoffs going into November, first 2 weeks of November. But the Huskies have proven their worth, that they do belong to compete with the best of the best. I mean, if that Maryville game from last week didn't prove that, this definitely did. And Keanu will go on to attempt to make LAN this year at Boise, I believe. Boise, Idaho. At Boise State University. You know, one of the stronger West Coast rival programs that we have here in the NACE Star League. Definitely the opportunity to represent at that event would be fantastic. And the Huskies, you know they're going to be pushing for it come the end of fall semester. Great showing from the guys tonight, and kudos to our opponents as well on a well-fought season and a well-fought LCQ match there. You know, it's all fun and games, it's all love, and we really appreciate having you guys in this match and giving us the opportunity to showcase our skills in Valorant to our community. So thank you once again to our opponents as well as everyone in chat for supporting us here tonight. We got a lot of Chris M believers in the chat. So thank you all for supporting us here tonight. We're going to be back on stream again tomorrow. This is a crazy week for Valorant. For any of you that are following our program, you'll know. CVal tomorrow as we take on California State University Fullerton campus and try to go 2-0 in the CVal first phase of CVal. And then Saturday, the big ticket, Red Bull Campus Clutch Canadian Nationals. Huskies will play group stage until we cut off to top 8. And then we'll play a best of 3 in top 8, provided we qualify, of course. But you know we're going to get there. Qualify out of top 8 and hoping to make Sunday top 4 for a chance at the #1 spot. Get a trip to Turkey for the World Championships later in November. Make sure you tune into that 11 a.m. Saturday to see the best that you're going to see from the Huskies all year. That's going to be, they're going to play harder in that than in anything else. Make sure you tune into that Saturday morning at 11 a.m. right here on the Keanu Esports channel. My name is Shadi Hanna. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream tonight. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow at 6:30 as we take on California State University Fullerton campus.